Many of you saw when Rodeo first came in, she was quite the handful trying to go over the stall wall, and I did a couple videos of how I was working her, getting all that worked out. Now we've moved on to working with her feet, actually lunging her a little bit. We've even started ground driving her. But we've worked with her feet some in the stall. Here we're moving out of the stall into the covered arena. Most of these things with her, when we first start them, we're starting in the stall. That way it takes away some of her distractions because she's so young. It also takes away some of her desire to leave. This has been a horse that isn't really scared but doesn't want you to do things. So by doing it in the stall, it takes away that escape. And I know a lot of people commented on the other video about that scaring her more. But in this horse's situation, fright is not an issue. This horse's issue is confidence. She actually has a little too much confidence, not enough desire for people to help her. So that's why we worked with her this way. Now we have her out here picking up all 4 feet. She's very good with her feet, and actually we have trimmed her feet since this video was recorded. Right here we're just picking them up and asking her to hold them up. I put a short video on Patreon a few days ago about just picking them up and holding them just for a second and then releasing. And here at this point we're picking them up and holding them up a minute or two so that she'll be used to having them held up. And here in just a minute you'll see we're going to go back in the stall and pick up her feet and actually pick them out and clean them out. So she's getting more advanced sensations. Everything keeps progressing. Now the other part of this, every time we work something that we want stand still, like pick up her feet, we're going to balance that with go forward. If you remember in the videos that I did of Maverick, he had way too much stand still and no go forward, and that created a problem when it got time for him to be under saddle. He had all stand still, no go forward, and he was very flexed and created some issues. So what we're doing with her, when we want her to stand still, we want her to stand still, and then we balance that with asking her to move. And right here, Robert's not asking very much, just walk forward. Now here we're back in the stall and starting to actually pick her feet out. And because this is a step above, this is the next step, she will fuss a little bit and she will resist giving her foot just a little bit. And but we're going to work on through it. There, he's picking up that 1 foot, picked up the foot, cleaning it out, getting her used to having her feet cleaned out. And at this stage with a weanling, you want to be able to catch them, put a halter on them, and take care of them, provide basic care. That's the minimum that every weanling you should be able to do. So that's what we're working on now. That is our first priority, our main priority. Catch her, halter her, lead her, and provide basic maintenance, which the basic maintenance is to clean her feet out. And she actually, you'll see a couple of these feet that he goes to pick up, she will give him a little bit of trouble, but nothing bad. And you see he's holding this foot up for a little while, and she's learned how to balance herself. You see how wide her back feet are. She's learned to balance herself with holding her feet up. And this comes by just hands-on doing it every day. We started off just picking it up, holding it up a second and putting it down, but there's no big secret to this. It's just hands-on every day. And with being a young horse, what we would do with her is go in the stall and a couple of times a day do something with her. It depended on where she was at. Sometimes we'd ask her to move her feet, sometimes we'd pick her feet up, sometimes we'd just go in there and pet on her and scratch on her. All that has to be done, and all that has to be done just over and over. And you notice how we have the halter and the lead rope right here. The whole purpose of that is so that if she goes to go forward, she'll go forward and around in that circle. You see that theme all the way through all of my videos, forward in a circle. And what we don't want her to do is go straight forward. That would be possibly an escape jump over to the wall, which I don't think she would do that at this point. But the other thing that could be is go forward and kick at us. But what this really provides is it provides go forward, but bring your head around. And by doing it that way, even if she goes forward, gets scared and goes forward, she's already started to fix it because she's going forward. We've got her head, and we can go right straight into driving her forward into the circle, which is what you saw me do in the very first couple videos. That's why that had to be established first. As hard as that was for some people to watch, that had to be done because everything had to build from that. As you see here, he's picking out her right front foot. And she's shifting her weight around just a little bit, but nothing bad. Nothing drastic needs to happen here. We just gradually do a little bit more every day. Now, all of her feet are pretty long, and we have, since this video, we have trimmed her back feet. She still needs her front feet trimmed some, but we have trimmed her back feet. Now you see she's fussing a little bit, but there's that forward in a circle I was talking about. Forward in a circle. That is so important in their head. If she would go forward and go forward, that wouldn't accomplish anything. But by going forward in a circle, we can work with it. So he's going to try to hold her foot. Now right there, he's not really going to fuss at her, but he's going to go forward in that circle. And then pick it up again. Now she's trying to turn her head away. Now how we do this is really important, and I talked about it in the earlier video I did of picking her feet up, where I have my back to the horse and the lead rope in one hand and pick the foot up with the other hand. That's real important, just for the flow of being able to get it done. See right there, she started to go forward and to the left, and she bumped that lead rope, and she stopped and came back. Still wanting to go forward and to the left. That's that escape. If we didn't have that lead rope on, then she would be able to walk away, and she would be able to win that, which would make this whole process harder and take longer. Because Robert just held her foot, didn't let her walk forward and to the left. She knew that forward and to the right was our option, our choice. So because of her two choices, she couldn't go forward and left. She didn't want to go forward and right because that's what the lead rope was saying. So she stood there. It's just that simple. And she gave in, let Robert clean her foot out. It's just that simple.